We were very excited to be able to participate in the ILS program. I wanted my daughter involved because she has focus and concentration issues. She was a bit behind the curve in both reading and math, and also had some coordination issues. The program, she enjoyed it very much, and I was able to start seeing improvements in her just a few weeks into the program. Her teachers commented on her being able to stay focused better in classroom. She was finally able to learn to ride her bicycle after several years of trying. One of the problems that she had had previously is they had talked about her having issues crossing her midline, and that related to her focus and concentration issues. And since doing the program and integrating both the eye-hand coordination, the body coordination, along with the sound, I definitely seen an improvement with her since she started the program. Yeah, she's able to do the bean bags now and the ball and all of that. And it took a little while for her to kind of get the hang of it, but she's got it now. She was very embarrassed that she was aware that she was behind academically, and very embarrassed that she wasn't able to ride her bicycle when all of her other peers were able to do that. And as those things improved, her self-esteem improved, her self-confidence improved, she's more outgoing, just generally happier, more content in school and at home as well. We are very much a believer in that here in the Montessori process. So this program with ILS fits in exactly with what we do with the kids. It was a beautiful fit for our kids. It's more holistic, it's addressing the whole child, you know, the physical, the spiritual, the intellectual, the emotional. Places that the kids are lacking show up physically and in the classroom. So being able to find a tool for them that doesn't label the kids, that doesn't stigmatize the kids, that helps them with the neurological processing is a beautiful thing. I think that helps the kids not only academically, but also emotionally.
For all of my students, and I tested them all on the Berry, which looks at the visual motor, which is how you can copy shapes, visual perception, which looks at how they take in information, perceive it, and how the brain perceives it and gives it back to them. And then motor coordination, which is kind of like a maze, so it looks at more of some of the things I look at fine motor skills. Some of the students, because we had picked them up and they were just more for reading and auditory kinds of things, did okay on those, but across the board, every single one of them made tremendous gains, and every single one of them was at least average or above average in their scores, so it improved all of them across the board. And then in looking at the scores from the district reading assessments, we saw tremendous gains in reading comprehension. That was, I think, a big thing. Behavior-wise, for those students who needed it, now some of them didn't, but for those who did, we did see immense improvement in behaviors too, concentration in a lot of them too, so focus, all those things that you want when you're in school.
I was talking to other parents, and there were so many other parents that were excited about this, that for us and for other families, it was so much easier to do it as a group in the school. It was easier to do it after school. We didn't have to take them anywhere. They worked together. The older kids helped the younger kids. They had a great time. The first thing we noticed was the handwriting. We didn't even recognize the kids' handwriting after like 3-4 weeks. It was amazing. The teachers were saying how much more organized the kids were, and they actually enjoyed the schoolwork. They were completing things, and the huge thing was it gave them more self-confidence. I would say that they had more positive attitude, still have behavior issues, but definitely improved it. The teachers were seeing that they were improving in class, getting along with peers better. So not only were they improving academically, they were learning how to work better with their peers. It's an intensive program. At times it was hard for the kids to put in the 4 hours a week or the 3 hours a week, but they knew that they would get results in short term. And when they started seeing the results, like the handwriting after 3-4 weeks, they were even more excited than the adults and the parents.
What I've seen is it's done great for our kids' confidence and just their ability to focus, and We have seen some increased reading scores. So one student that we saw go through this program had been a struggler reader since kindergarten. He's been at our school and he was in my classroom, and we've tried different interventions. He was staffed into special ed. Reading's just always been hard for him. He's lacked the motivation, he's lacked the confidence, he's lacked just the ability. So we've tried many different things with him. Last year he did the ILS after school, and we did see an increase in his reading scores. What we saw, if we tracked his interventions, this was a different intervention than what we've been giving him. So that's exciting to see that when we tried something different, we did see different results. And I think as reading interventions, we owe it to ourselves that, you know, for some kids, they do move with the Tier 2 intervention or this 2. They do move, they get reading, so we know. But for other kids who continue to struggle and have had numerous different cognitive things, we need to go back. And I wish he would have had this probably in 1st, 2nd grade, rather than waiting until he was in 4th grade at 9 and 10.
I spoke with other parents at the school that have been in the ILS program, and they started talking about the benefits that they've seen in their children. And so since we started the program, he tested at 24% of his 1st grade sight words at the beginning of the year. We've been on the program, I want to say it's 2 months now. We just had assessments and he's at 79% of his sight words. He's just on it and he loves it, he desires it. Since he started this program, he goes into class and his teacher says he's focused and he's ready to start the day, where before he was here and there and here and there, and now he's on top of it. Prior to ILS, Cody was difficult to take things in. He would learn them, but it would be a very difficult process for us to get it. I think that every student everywhere would benefit from the ILS program.
For some kids, they don't have successes academically in the classroom, so they have behaviors and they're always being told that they need to do this or that, or they need to do more, faster. And I think with ILS, it gives them the ability to find success and even some of the smaller things that are underlying academic skills, like being able to write your letters, being able to track across the page. Those are things that are underlying skills that a lot of students who have learning disabilities don't have.
We also noticed once we were in the program and we had quite a few weeks under our belt, we noticed that the testing part for CSAP, the reading comprehension, improved drastically. He had a hard time comprehending what he was reading, and so he tested very well. And we also noticed that in the car he would get dizzy a lot, and we just didn't know what to do. But after ILS, that went away. And it was amazing because we all noticed in the car. And that part of our little quality of life improved because it was kind of hard for him. He would get nauseous and dizzy, and so he was more in control of his behavior after ILS. He knew his coping skills and he would do that. The anxiety was it happened a lot during his normal day, from the time he woke up, from the time he went to bed. And once he started ILS, we felt he was organizing. So he was preparing himself and he was organizing himself for these peer conflicts, if that was going to be the case today, or he was just trying to resolve some issues that he had all on his own. The exercises, we've noticed that he can alternate his arms and his legs. It's just been wonderful. He can jump rope. He can, like I said, catch and throw a ball like anybody else. Before ILS, very little empathy with peers or family members or anything like that. Very little. Didn't understand it. Didn't look the other way. Carried on with his business. Now he is concerned. We noticed in 3rd grade he made a lot of eye contact with his teacher, which was amazing. He never had done that before. The interaction with peers, not only does he initiate conversation, which he was always taught to do, he does the back and forth thing more. A lot of times where he would be all by himself and everyone else would be over here playing. Well, not anymore. I mean, he is interacting, he's helping, he's sharing. I was always motivated, moving him over to the, birthday parties. He's involved. Before, not so much involved, all by himself, hiding under my shirt. And even with all the kids that I worked with, came in and got their gear on. They came right in, they were ready to go. They were ready to go. And there was a lot of times where a lot of kids